What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of the Celebrity Jump. I really want to talk about a particular topic that is really out there today with, the emergence of Kevin Samuels and Kevin Samuels talking about, the high value black male thing and, what black women can do. Stuff like this, okay? I want to talk about this. And the reason is because Kevin Samuels still represents a black man who cares. Vocal enough to talk about it. Now, obviously, he has his own platform here on YouTube and on Instagram and places like that. He cannot be fired from any kind of corporate job. There's nothing that you can do really to cancel him. He's probably very wealthy by now. But what about the other black men? The other black men who do not say anything, okay? And Obsidian refers to these men in the past, right? As the black men who vote with their feet and with their wallet. And this, I believe, represents the majority of African American men, okay? And I want to talk about this. This is important. Many black men out there who are working in respectable careers, whether they be accountants, whether they be attorneys, whether they be blue collar or white collar, no black man can come out and really honestly say how he feels about black women on social media, okay? Number one, that is, you're going to be fired. And we want to talk about that because most black men understand that. If you give black women any sort of criticism, and it's not even to say that you can do it from a place of love, okay? You can do it from a place of care. But we're going to be honest is that while some black women can take it, and I think even most black women can understand if you're being truthful or not, there are some black women out there who will press the issue. And if you're any kind of man and you have any kind of professional life, you have any kind of a job or career, and they can prove that you said that, your employer is going to be forced to deal with you or fire you. That's just where we're at. Which is why, okay, black men who have problems with black women or concerns with black women refuse to even speak. These are the black men, in my opinion, who vote silently with their wallets. They vote silently with their feet. And then they change their preference for their dating and mating choices. Okay? These are the black men that are really unaccountable for in the black community. We don't know how many of them that they are. I mean, you see that a few black men on the social media that may talk, and guys like myself or Kevin Samuels, we might address it, and even me, I don't address it as much as I used to, for the reasons why that people get offended about it, and then you get tired of talking about it because you don't feel like there's nothing that can change, right? I think a lot of black men are feeling that way. A lot of black men are where they are now, and as they're getting older, they're saying, what's the point? I've been talking about this. I would like it to change. I would like certain things to change. Now, obviously, we know that not every black woman is the same, right? But, they're just saying, for example, if you're a brother and you honestly feel that, you're going to run into, many of the same problems you've been running into in your dating life, what you're going to do is you're going to just stop talking about it. You won't say anything about it. You'll just make sure, you try to stay away from certain people, certain individuals. An example, staying away from, having serious relationships with African American women, and then you'll go and do what you're going to do. Like, for example, a guy like Damon John, he married a white woman, right? He would never come out and publicly say, I'm never gonna marry a black woman again, but he comes out and marries a white woman. That's how it works, okay? And that's what a lot of black men are that's what a lot of black men are transitioning to. A lot of black men are transitioning with this silent treatment. And I've been seeing it as it happens quite often. A lot of guys who are professionals, guys who are attorneys, guys who have MBAs, guys who have really good businesses, they're just not even talking about black women in any kind of way. I mean, not in a negative way. They're not talking about them in a positive way. It's almost that it's something that, when you talk about what they're going to do, I'm heading over to Europe, I'm heading over to Hungary, Czech Republic, I'm going to Brazil, I'm going to Colombia, and, and I'm having a party. When I talk about a party, that there's not going to be any black women there at all. And it's just something that's just not talked about at all. And I find that to be sad because a lot of our men have given up on our community, period. Like, I've even had debates with guys like, okay, brother, I know that you have some problems with the sisters, man. Come on, at least give Africa a try, man. What about some of the sisters over in Africa, bro? What if some sisters in the Caribbean, or, come to Uganda or go to Ghana, or, and it's just almost like, well, we'll see, And guys have really been moving toward this situation. And obviously I think that could be a growing issue with black women and black men. To the point that people are not even willing to have there's a growing group of people who don't want to even have a conversation about it at all. I think, and I know this is going to sound bad, but I'm going to say this. As long as you can have black men and black women at least arguing about what's going on, at least roasting each other about at least going on, it shows me at least they care. At least when I go into Kevin Samuels fans Facebook group and you see black men and black women fighting and arguing, it at least shows they care enough to try to at least talk about what's going on. But there are people in a black male community that are not even willing to talk about this at all. They're completely numb to the topic. And they have completely moved on. They're with other races of women. And they don't care. They've been completely turned off. And this is my concern. Because how are you going to keep the black community or the black race going if this is what's going to happen? You got to have somebody to stay in the race to keep creating other African Americans, right? But I think this is what's going on here. And I think that my prediction, if you don't have these discussions where people can come out and talk without folks trying to cancel them, and that's what's happening. If a black man has any kind of issue with black women, then he has to really watch what he's saying, or he's going to be canceled, or something like that. And he can only come out and say the positive things about black women. And obviously it sounds good for the black woman, but it doesn't change the real issues that black men have. So, what is he supposed to do? The only way he can internalize it is, let me go deal with something else. Hope I don't run into the same problems. And then I'll just shut up and be quiet. And many black men are doing that. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. I really appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe to the bell. Check out the first comment pinned to the top. Check out the Patreon. And as you know, the buffoonery remains at an all-time high.